You see the you were
places everyone
for Radiant side, Liquid choosing to last pick up the Death Prophet. Na'Vi, meanwhile, pretty fast paced with that mid Queen of Pain.
Yeah, they don't have the best ways, I think, to deal with this Naga Siren when it comes to the ultra late game, just because if you're Na'Vi, you want to constantly apply pressure, you don't want to deal with those Naga illusions. So for Na'Vi, I think the game plan is very clear. Put as much pressure as you possibly can, whereas Liquid, it's buy time for this Naga Siren, allow her to develop her own game. Man, I still can't believe that this is going to be the last game one of these two teams.
So in that case, it feels rather fitting that we are going to go back and put this game. A large amount of the tempo is going to be determined by art styles, classic jungling with the Enchantress, and mid Dendi Queen of Pain, right? You said
30 seconds to showtime.
Fast, and those are going to be the two heroes that cement a lead early on in the laning phase, at least.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for Na'Vi, just grab his mid lane as much as he possibly can, slow down Fodder's farm, and they're even going to spot General in this Roche pit, force him to time walk out, waste him with his mana, but it's going to affect too much.
Now, what about the safe lane Furion? Obviously, that's going to be yet another example of Na'Vi really trying to push the pace of this game, running a
and
safe
away
lane
we go.
Actually teleport anywhere in the map and instantly but what is the difference here in your mind of running that Furion top and having General play the Faceless Void as an offlaner here rather than vice versa?
Just because now for Na'Vi, you can scale your cores very greedily into the mid game and early game, and I think they've read the fact that Mind Control is going to go for this Iron Talon Axe jungle, and so in this way they can potentially just straight up win 3 lanes. You see Sneko camping this mid lane for Dendi, and yeah, this is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to contest just because Mind Control does not have the build to go to the top lane.
Dota going to be left in a one-person scenario. Can't really help him out too much. This rather aggressive mid situation, as you said, the top lane being completely abandoned by Team Liquid, so Ditya Ra is going to have total free farm here and may be able to have an impact on that mid lane when he's able to pick up his level 2. In a moment's notice, there's a moment of weakness there on Fauna. He'll TP in and provide a helping hand to Na'Vi, and then our bottom lane General is probably going to be doing all right. He's facing up against a Naga Siren and a Shadow Demon. I can't imagine that is a dual lane that will put too much pressure on him.
Yeah, Jarek has gone for the poison level 1, trying to harass and trade hits, but General not going to be too worried about this, and this has kind of been Liquid's weakness throughout this tournament, just weak laning phases which eventually lead to a snowballing mid game for the enemy team. Already starting to see that here as Jarek moves out in General. A lot of stacks of poison on it, but on the left side here comes Artstyle trying to get that first blood.
He's going to be able to try and go straight for Jarek. He's got the ensnare ready to go. He will be able to lock down Jarek. Disruption comes down from Jarek. Artstyle dropping lower, trying to go for neutral, denied, not good enough, and neutrals instead will deny Artstyle. That was the best possible.
Was only a matter of time.
Na'Vi as Artstyle low anyways. Very fortunately just manages to die there.
Yeah, beautiful. Pick up the first blood. Artstyle already having an
invisibility.
That jungling Enchantress and is going to keep up the pressure here in this bottom lane. TPing down and wants to be able to pick up perhaps a wild wing river that he spotted out earlier.
This mid lane Fodder just continues to take a beating.
Dendi still has the blink ready to go, but he's only level 2, no levels of Scream of Pain just yet.
He's got to be careful just because there's a Fairy Fire available on Fodder, who desperately wants to not have to send more regen to himself to play for that bottle, but that might just cost him his life because he is starting to get really low here. And Na'Vi, they are liable to just go for this dive, especially with this TP available from this Nature's Prophet.
Nine coming out, keeping that bottle outside of Fodder's region, and steal some of Mind Control's farm just so he can get that assured bottle without putting himself in too much danger. But still, it seems like as you kind of set it up, pre-laning phase, Na'Vi are actually going to be winning every single one of their lanes.
That's just too.
Yeah, he kind of seems left without a much of a job here on this bounty hunter.
Yeah, if you're
can't
Kuro,
really put much pressure in.
You want to go bottom, you want to follow around this Enchantress, or you want to harass mid and try to make the lanes okay, but it's still a 3-lane at top. It looks so attractive as Na'Vi getting aggressive on the Pac-Man. They are slowing down this farm so much right now in this game.
So the early level 6 on the bounty hunter may be able to offset things in time to come, but that's only if Liquid can actually win some fights, and with the way the rest of the lanes are going, seems doubtful they will have much strength to go on.
So far, this is all Na'Vi cores. Although we haven't seen the first team fight or anything like that, Navi's got pretty greedy cores. They've got the supports to back themselves up. And Artstyle, he's going to continue to try to make moves around the map. Until they grab this bounty rune.
Now, one of the big silver linings here between the Bounty Hunter picking up a relatively early level 6, it seems, with him taking up a free lane at top, and then also we have this mind control free farming away on the X. This is probably one of the faster junglers that you'll see. He's already level 5 by 4 minutes in. He could have
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Usually come with the Blink Dagger, and that may be too late to stop Navi's snowball. Mike
gonna make his rotation up at top, and Vincere might not know about this, as they're trying to find the angle right now to collapse on him instantly. He does have the level of Sprout and the TP available.
It's going to be slowed down, needs to be able to find the space to be able to get a Sprout TP away, but Mind Control closing the gap.
That tree
doing so much. Kuro's now going to try and do the same, but Mind Control still can't get there. Beautiful set up by Seneko. Manages to get the Fortune's End onto Vincere, purging him off as well as hitting both Kuro and Mind Control.
That was so well done by Vincere. Just sending his hero back, microing that Treant. Definitely kept him alive as they definitely had enough damage to kill him. That level 1 Shuriken toss doing quite a lot of damage, even level 2 right now. To make his way back up top, Vincere being maybe a little bit too cocky as Seneko has left this lane. The Sentry Ward is going to spawn him out.
Too late, he's already slowed down. He's got the phase boots.
You fence me
Liquid even out the score, but Dendy, here with some vengeance, has the double damage rune.
Does not want to blink forward into this mind control.
He's got a blink. Kuro actually takes a large amount of damage, has an Invis ready to go. Dendy
is going to go for a scream again.
Was there a bounty on me?
Reads it perfectly against Kuro.
That's a huge kill. That was a decently leveled Bounty Hunter who was almost level 5. At the same time, though, no reason for Vincere to have to die in that top lane.
Artstyle. Taking a look at him, you know he's going to make a big movement rather soon here, as he's deep inside the Radiant jungle. Going to put this Hellbear Smasher to good use, but is it going to be mid, or is he going to invade the Radiant jungle further? Looks like he's looking towards mid. Kuro making the TP in, though, refreshes the bottle of Fada, and they'll look for the 6-minute rune as well. So this.
Oh, that was an aggressive blink from Dendy.
That blink forward thought the 6-minute rune would be all his, but it gets punished immediately by a turn of fates. The haste rune picked up by Fada. He'll now rotate to mid. Put some pressure on Seneko. He's far out. He should just be able to purge this one off. The haste rune isn't that much of a threat.
Pretty massive of Dendy to throw away that lead that was built up for him, as now this axe is catching up in net worth. Good news for Navi, though, is that this bottom lane has still gone relatively unopposed for General, who picks up a very early level 6, hasn't had to resort to jungling like Mind Control did in the beginning of the laning phase.
Artstyle reaches the jungle, keeps the base, takes the middle lane, finds his opening, rotating behind Fada. Picks up the kill with the help of Dendy's TPN. Now the smoke up immediately. All-out aggression here. They're going to try and push the speed game, catch Liquid off guard by rotating up to the top lane.
Yeah, Mind Control might not see this coming. Just saw Navi in this mid lane, and Kuro might actually
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Scenario for Liquid. They might not get either of them as they don't.
Radiant's structures must be fortified. My target. Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
The extra nukes. He is a level 5 Oracle at Purifying Flames. It's quite a bit for some of these squishier supports. As you
Healing
said,
power.
The Bounty Hunter being in the levels is actually kind of turning against Liquid, because Kuro's been picked off so many times. It just means extra levels for Navi now.
Experience, they're doing just fine. Both their supports doing okay, as Artstyle has been so active around the map. Already almost level 5. Derex, he's gonna run into Artstyle here. Doesn't have time available, but looks like they want out of
the Chronosphere. Zulu, we found it! What a perfect Chronosphere, hitting 3! They're gonna go for a kill on Jax. We'll be able to claim that one, and Artstyle
Dire's mid tower is having technical difficulties. No breaking through the Dire structures for now.
The Sonic Wave, Sonic Wave goes out. Dendy, he actually managed to pick up the scream. He has an argument. He has another scream of pain. Takes the guess. This time around, he will not be able to find Kuro, but it looks like Kuro's still dead. The Shadow Strike last hit. Wait, 5 HP.
Kuro was really, he had a 12-charge wand that he just did not want to use. I'm good. I can't believe that he's playing with fire right there. Spada takes the farm in the meanwhile. Seneko makes his move forward, but not a Sonic Wave available from Dendy. This is an empty threat.
First exorcism from Fada. Not really doing too much there, so we're going to go back and see that chronosphere from General. I thought for sure they were just going to surround him. He managed to get a small gap there, get himself away from Liquid, and then the chronosphere is angled perfectly, hitting those 3 heroes and giving Artstyle free escape.
The biggest thing is that the Bounty Hunter was way too far out. He did have the Shuriken toss available to him, but just didn't have the range. That made it just enough for the Enchantress to get out. General with a very good chronosphere, especially in a 1v3 lane. They're going to be happy with that. Mind Control, though, picking up a lot of...
Dire's top tower, you know the
they're
drill.
They're free to send anybody up here. Is Kuro now going to get spotted by that scan?
I mean, Vincere will just play it safe, sticking near that tier 1 tower, knowing that the Bounty Hunter is here. They could actually gotten the pick off for Mind Control. If they could have successfully ganked the Furion, that would have sped up that Blink Dagger timing. He's so close to it, sitting at 1750, but that is unlikely to be the case here.
So very decent lead right now for Navi in kills. 2-5, and they built up a 1k gold lead. 15 XP. Not too much to go off of at 10 minutes into the game. 3D Tricore, and now they're going to make their move bottom. Mind Control going to walk past this door.
Right over the 10-minute room. And he makes sure he actually has to double silence. Now the Spirit Siphon.
Radiant's bottom tower in a pretty sight right now.
They get the disruption. They will catch up to him. Aiming that kill. For the rotations out from Liquid, they really wanted to ensure.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days. Radiant's bottom tower's done for.
Do claim the tier 1 tower at the bottom lane, so Navi still potentially getting the better of these trades.
Yeah, unfortunately for Navi, there was no track on that kill, so Kuro didn't even pick up any extra farm for himself. Vanguard completed on Mind Control, and it does look like Diyara, he's saving up a lot of money. Decided to go for old school Shadowblade.
2,500 gold.
Oh no, he's gonna go for the Maelstrom. And that's gonna be a lot of damage on him.
Lined with this Faceless Void. Goes for the early Vlads. Actually got a pretty heavy amount of physical damage for this lineup. Kuro is going to pop the smoke here on both. Seneko holding on to the top. It might be too late. Spot out Kuro. Kuro's going to be caught now by Zen. They know it too. Just gets on the track, tries to lay out
I fall
the
in service.
His life is realm. He runs into the smoke though. That was aimed towards ganking up Mind Control, saving his life.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Of Kuro there.
Yeah, you're okay when one of your supports just runs into something like that, especially if you don't lose a core hero. Artstyle dipping a little bit low. Liquid.
Just heal up, start turning around. Having faith in this nature's
You gotta be careful.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Down the back line, they should easily be able to get the kill on Fada until
Dire's top tower's getting beat down. Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Actually quite low for this. Take down the Tumble Man, but here comes Mind Control. He's got the big one too. They turn around onto Fada. He still has the exit.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower too down.
Running away from Seneko. Seneko got it.
That was your boss. I will see myself out.
He traded his way, his own life, but even with the track kill, it may be worth it for Navi.
Barely finds that angle is because of the track. It does go in favor of Liquid, but still Navi.
Regeneration!
Not exactly how they wanted that to go, especially with Diyara not able to do enough damage to support the other two cores, but Dendi did make it worth his while, going for that aggressive blink in. But now this
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Farm and levels.
I was just about to say, Mind Control, like, he's the big beneficiary of all this. He was in a fight that had track kills going down. You could see the way that Fada in the front lines with that Spirit Siphon really thought he was going to be able to live until he gets bashed up right there. The call was beautiful, but then Dendi, he just lays waste, and this is why you have that Queen of Pain. That quick burst damage eliminates two heroes almost instantly.
Oh, Matuma Man just almost made it around that corner. Maybe he ate his tree line up, but unable to nab the kill is not still leading in kills. The gold is still going in their favor as well. But at the same time, the threat of a Radiant's Naga Siren is always going to loom over their heads, and they want to continue to try to push the pace.
Yeah, we haven't actually talked about that too much. 2,200 gold in the bank from Matuma Man. Bit of a loss after that team fight where he got picked by Seneko. But he will still have a lot of space, presumably, when Mind Control has his Blink Dagger and Vanguard nice and early.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
As general, ready for it.
So they know the wards placed behind the tier 1, tier 2 now.
And they're gonna run into this. Seneko, he's got the dust.
Right now, really be able to survive through any burst damage incoming. That silence stops any attempt by Na'Vi. No spells whatsoever from General or Dendi. And Fada gets the free exorcism kill onto the Furion and will now use the rest of that exorcism timing to go for the tier 1 and top lane.
Yeah, this is a pretty natural for them. It's Liquid, they got lucky there. Na'Vi were trying to set up for it, and unfortunately DRR jumped the gun.
Dire structures looking fortified. Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Fortune smiles on Liquid with that smoke.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
Take the tier 1 at the top lane. They'll be actually not lasting quite long enough. Now, Mind Control did just run into Art Style.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Doesn't have too much backup.
Throwing those reading rainbows at them as Mind Control's gonna back up. Need farm his Blink Dagger. This is a very farmed axe right now. Top in net worth. All heroes in the game so far.
He may have the farm, but let's see how effective he is with it. These next few minutes are crucial for Liquid. Mind Control's got to get some successful initiations with that Blink Dagger, create the space, or even some successful team fights for Man to work around, whether it's farming creeps or heroes. Speed up that Radiance a little bit faster. He's got 3,300 gold. If that fight goes wrong, however, that Radiance starts getting delayed, Na'Vi may find an opening to be able to take Roshan.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
Na'Vi's. They're actually going to go for Roshan here, actually. They're going to try to sneak in.
This is a very good timing for them.
Liquid are going to be caught totally off guard by this. Unless Matumba can be spotted out with one of these illusions.
Still, I don't know if Liquid want to take this fight. The exorcism available.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
No farm on the Pac-Man. It might actually just be a free Roshan.
They spotted out with the illusion.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Next creep wave out, and they're going to claim the tier 1 tower.
Roche is tough, but the Dire's tougher still.
They're not going to have a TP in from General.
Instantly going to smoke in.
Dire's mid tower won't last much
They can
longer.
get a free kill here. Big fight for them.
They're going to break their smoke, actually, to be able to take out that ward.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower. The Dire went and fortified their structures.
In exchange for Roshan. Blitz,
Dire's top tower. Dire's top tower's gone.
And Liquid, they overstay their walking up the top. Might just be worth it for Na'Vi, especially if they can find one of these core heroes. They don't want to keep running into Kuroki. They really want to grab this axe or this Naga Siren, but unfortunately,
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Oh no, he's outside the range of the smoke, or the dust rather.
They are dropping everything on the ground. These Na'Vi heroes 5 up here.
I mean, we just said
that this courier up at top 2. Oh no.
A moment of silence for the Dire's courier.
Little bugger, he gets it. Not only does he break the smoke, doesn't die from it, but he actually gets the courier pick off. That couldn't have gone worse for Na'Vi.
The thing is, Kuroki right now is playing this game where he doesn't really care about dying. He's just trading vision, trading chaos around the map. Na'Vi had to respond 5 heroes up there. He breaks the smoke, a dust is popped on top of that. He grabs the courier. That was best case scenario for them. It adds a little bit of pocket change to Man, who is rapidly closing in now on that Radiance. At one point he was 5th in net worth on his team. Now he leads the entire game.
And that Radiance is only going to speed things along further, so time is ticking, Na'Vi. You've got this Furion, Queen of Pain, and Faces Void trio. We're looking to be able to push the pace of this game and establish dominance early. Doesn't quite yet happen. We'll see if they can do it now at the 18-minute mark. Mind Control's going to come forward, has the dagger ready to go. It's a good thing too, Na'Vi.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Backed up.
Oh, nerds, now that
Them Dire buildings are tough as nails for now.
Where are you going?
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
Gonna jump forward, but Fada just gets the TP.
Does manage to get himself away. A little bit scared that Centaur Conqueror was gonna throw out a stun.
I think Dendi was trying to grab the creeps over, so that 4 targets were on top, and Liquid are just running Na'Vi ragged. They didn't tier 2 or tier 1 tower on the top. The Na'Vi, we talked about how they had to continue to push the pace, especially with this Enchantress pick. Since the early game is concluded, they haven't been able to do so.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
Repeatedly grabbing some Naga Siren illusions, but he's got to be careful here at the top lane. Track heal from Kuro just gets more information and backs himself away. Liquid not trying to make too much use of this Blink Dagger. As you were said before, they're just kind of like running around the map. Navi, if possible, and just buying more and more time.
If they can just force Navi around the map repeatedly and force them to react to their moves, and they just waste time, I think Liquid are going to be in a very good position going into the mid-late game. And Navi, they're just getting frustrated across the board. They have this Aghanims completed on Dendi, no BKB or defensive items for him. He's going to always rely on this Warcraft. Nature's Prophet, and not the damage dealer that you need.
Mind control, threatening Navi back just purely with his presence. Vanguard and Blink ready to go.
That is not the target that you want to initiate on if you're not.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Almost got the blade mail completed, 11 to 1 charges. He again, gotta go for this top.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
They can afford to give up on.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. Radiant's toughened up their structures. Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
Bada with his exorcism will be able to take the tower at the
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
Mind control is choosing.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
Where you can contest the top tower.
The Radiant lost the top tower.
And this just means.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
See if that's to the favor of Liquid as time goes on. Bada is about to complete a BKB. That's a big team fight item alongside the Radiants. Liquid may be able to pressure some towers of their own quite soon. The full 5 men, we'll have to see what they choose though. A lot more damage coming out of Navi, more damage items, the Maelstrom onto General. Navi, they can't seem to find any openings, right? It just, there seems to be no heroes really sticking out from Liquid. They're going to get caught by Navi so far. You're Navi, how do you force that error then?
I'm not sure because they're in a position right now where they wanted to
run off.
Random around, and Liquid are only really showing support heroes on the map. Whenever Navi shows 2 heroes on the map, then that's when Liquid's forced to push out. Now that Navi have lost the Aegis, I think they're going to be a little bit reluctant to push, but all the time, Navi Fire is going to outfarm all your heroes.
Is there a possibility that Navi, because they weren't able to get the kind of fights and takeoffs that they wanted to around the 15-minute mark, that they're able to extend this game to their favor? They've got 2 Maelstroms, they've got the Aghanims on the Queen of Pain, they've got some pretty good farming items on their cores. Is it possible for them to actually beat out this Naga Siren, who presumably will farm up network?
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what they're going for right now, committing this Maelstrom to General instead of going for that standard Blink Dagger. I think they've accepted the fact that this game isn't going to go in their pace anymore, and they're trying to slow things down, allow their course to get farmed up. Is Kuro going to spot another hero here?
Not again, but still. Mind control, that's not the hero you wanted to run into, especially with that blade mail. They may still be able to mind control, pop the call with the extra armor.
Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures now.
But Man gets healed. Can they actually set this one up? No, they're just
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Man though might actually get picked for this.
He tries to that Shadow Strike, will be able to get off the debuff, eating up his progress into the tier 2.
Might just lead to a natural push though from Navi. Well, this is not hard.
Still have a rather large up here. They're tier 2, so they're going to need the Furion to go back and push that one out. And all the meanwhile, they're going to have Naga Siren illusions hampering their.
This is going to be so frustrating for Navi. They desperately wanted to take that top fight. It looked like it was going to be a gift to them as Mind Control was caught out by that Sprout, unable to do anything.
So at a certain point, when you see Navi, they're farming items General. Okay, there's the Chronosphere. Jerax is no way getting it.
I have seen the future. You are not
it.
in
Last time we saw a Chronosphere. You know, it was just, might as well use it, might as well put it on cooldown because Liquid's dodging us so hard.
I think for Navi though, they're still okay, like you talked about. There is a point in the game where I feel like things can swing back to them, right? Because they have almost this 4-core lineup as art style is very powerful. We've got a Dragon Lance and an Aghanim Scepter. It can be very useful against these BKB heroes. You can almost always just keep turning those Naga Siren solutions in their favor. So there might actually be a point where Navi comes all the way back around, where the 4-core kind of works out for them.
In which case, we didn't have to talk about Liquid. They obviously the ones who are going to be looking to control the mid game. That's going to be their big peak when the Naga Siren has 4 items. What sort of situations are we looking at? When does Liquid actually start trying to pressure tier 2s and think about
They're waiting for Navi to get frustrated, maybe if they try to take another objective. Because I think Liquid is right now just operating under the assumption that Navi is trying to force something.
Dire's mid tower is having technical difficulties.
Gets a little bit too hasty. They don't plan out their fight like they have been. Now, it looks like Liquid, they just want to take this fight. But Pac-Man gonna heal up. He's got the boots of travel though to meet the rest of his team. And I think Liquid right now are worried about the possibility of a Roshan. He further confirms but Pac-Man gonna TP top.
Warriors of the wood!
They're here in full force.
It's good games real quickly. They do have just with the fresh split there. They've already managed to pick off Kuro.
They can get more here, especially if
Blink forward. You got for General. Just down the spirit shot. Here comes that first damage. He doesn't have the opportunity to get away from that one. Jericho out. Blink forward. Oh, the spear missing. General thought he was gonna get a third hero from Liquid. Not the case here. A big team fight ultimate wasted. They still have 40 seconds for the death prompt is dead. But they can't actually go for Roshan just yet. It's not even up.
I don't even know what that bash was. That's going to be something that tilts you with your Dota. Just because his TP, there was not going to be a second hit available, but instead, the very first hit.
7-12. 25 minutes in, 1,000 gold lead for Liquid. Big experience lead for Navi, though. Quite an even matchup so far.
Yeah. That's generally going to happen when you have a Naga Siren on your team, even though she's going to get a lot of net worth. She's going to be pushing in lanes, not really giving the team or herself even experience.
Still though, it seems like the support perhaps just because of the track gold, they've managed to get some decent progression in items. Jarix, for example, does have that ether lens. Kuro, not so much though. Still doesn't have the mech, which is obviously going to be essential to help keep Vada alive. He's already got the Yule Scepter BKB, but he needs every little bit of help he can get.
Maybe Dendi blinks for this. He's thinking about it. They're setting up a trap for this. Instead, not going to go to anyone. Kuro just walks by it.
Very late Roshan. It is just about to spawn. Both teams know it too, which is why Liquid are going to go for a 4-man smoke here. See if they can actually get the initiation first on Navi with the numbers advantage, guaranteeing Aegis for themselves.
Are under some assumption that Liquid could just be backing up this Pac-Man Naga Siren, and now they're pinging like crazy. It looks like they do.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Chronosphere in 2 seconds. This is going to be dangerous.
Ward placed down by Sineko.
It's going to be a huge fight. They're going to make the jump, but General gets the point.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Now he has the opportunity to respond. He's going to time lock forward. Double Chronosphere. The rest of the team looking for it. Did he go? Couldn't get off the Sonic wave in
Dire's
time.
bottom tower's getting the business.
All with the Saga Siren. Now Mike is going to go straight for Sineko. Wants to be able to take out that horse. But not
It's just not fair.
Somebody's on a roll.
You and cry so much support there, but Mind Control still managed to claim a counter kill, and Liquid win the fight.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. Can't do nothing about Dire structures right now.
He is so far away now from the BKB, and they need
Dire's bottom tower's getting the
get all of
business.
his abilities off, but instead, without that BKB available,
The Dire gave up a bottom tower.
Dangerous. General's initiation, they've really got to be on point here, because if you look with Liquid's lineup, they've got both the Shadow Demon as well as the Naga Siren. Both are excellent to your setup. As we saw with that Song of Siren halting every bit of progress there from Navi.
And for Navi, if that fight went well, they could have immediately just transitioned that to some momentum, grab the Roshan for themselves, start to knock down some of these tier 2 towers, but instead, Liquid just resets the pace of the game. The worst possible thing again is then these items have
Where are you going?
completely fallen off.
Heal us.
Desperate, trying to get some measure of farm. Is Hardstyle in this one?
Track on him. Shuriken will bounce over as well.
Man's running forward.
To me! There now,
Forward and roll.
Calling play one.
Axe warms his blade.
Another
Brought
to justice.
him out 1 second there with a shadow poison, but Natus able to be able to stop him now. General. Got you here. Not afford to get picked up here.
Two down.
Double kill. Tier 2 tower is going to be forced and Navi's getting lucky right now.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help. Hope the Dire weren't partial to that mid tower.
Real estate around the map. Dendy reluctant to fight though without that.
Dire's mid tower is having technical difficulties.
Navi. Now he comes back. So where's the fight for that?
Six in a row. Dire's mid tower could use a little help. Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. The Dire couldn't hang on to that mid tower. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. 7 in a row. How about that? Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
I'm ready to put that place behind me.
With the buyback, they need to be able to pop on it. They can't quite do it. The exorcism about to fade. He's going to TP out.
Everybody from Liquid going to make a clean escape here. Navi desperate to try to pursue. They use buybacks for this. But instead, they're going to be able to save the racks. But at the cost of so many different heroes. And I mean, Navi,
they have to get Roshan now. They bought back
Regeneration!
They just bought back on Art.
Time is money.
They lost their melee racks. Get any hero kills on Liquid. They have to get something.
this is an all-in attempt for them. They can't afford to die or lose this Aegis themselves, as Liquid are going to start marching forward. There is no Naga Siren available for Liquid. This might be a decent fight for Navi, and this might be the best one they find, as they do have that Chrono, and it's going to be all about the angles.
They have to focus in right now because there's 10 more seconds until the song starts back up.
Come and get it!
And now the energy is like energy making all out on art style. Sticks around and good ult from Denny from the side, but just not quite enough.
How about that?
Looking to make enough sense in these corners. Liquid are just pushing through.
8 in a row.
Vincere also going to go down, and Navi splinter apart, leaving Roshan now in the hands of Liquid.
And every single time that Navi is getting kills in this engagement, it's almost always on these two supports. They just haven't been able to nab a core kill.
He's got it. He's going to track. He still has the follow-up as well, setting up a bottom now. Not going to be able to stop this.
Dire's top tower. You know the drill.
Couple more seconds. The Radiance putting a stop to that Blink Dagger, but he does get the time watch now.
And Navi, where's your hold?
Ain't looking
No
good for the Dire's mid-racks.
No heroes available either. This is going to be a two-pronged attack from Liquid. Navi might just be seeing their last game in TI.
Dire's mid-racks ain't doing so hot. The Dire's mid-racks. It's gone. Dire's got one last top tower.
They don't seem to show any signs of letting go. In fact, they're going to go for a second lead of racks.
Navi Exorcism in 4 seconds. Navi, this is probably going to be your last chance to hold, and they're going to need a miracle for this one.
Where are you going?
If they can hold, though, Roshan is still available to them. The Octarine on the Naga Siren, though, getting
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
Navi, just no progression in items after those buybacks.
Especially on this Dendy Queen of Pain. We talked about it earlier. After that buyback at bottom, that disastrous fight, he is still trying to grab his BKB. Just unable to do so off of the back of so many unsuccessful team fights.
Particularly with his action, you really expect a lot more farm out of this Queen of Pain, being able to spam out that ultimate, but not the case here.
Probably get one more look at his team fight.
Come on, sprites!
Which is, they need to be the ones to remember with the tempo in general, and get the time off away from Michael, might be able to leave out a lot of damage back in the middle of it, and Angle coming for his one down, the bottom end, the other side, and the Scepter on in general, stalling out the corner here, best possible now, disruption is done.
No idea how many that was.
Right in the middle of the
Anyway, how many is that now? 2 down.
20 hacks from the axe of axe!
and back back out of Navi's base.
And it looks like they want to transition this into a bottom tower push. Spada commits the buyback. They smell one. They know that Navi just simply do not have the items to contest them. They're going to start flooding into this bottom tower. And they want a second.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
40 seconds left. But it is simultaneously an opening. Somehow Navi gets a 4. And Liquid still fought at
Let's just say it's a winning streak. Dire just couldn't save that bottom tower. Can't do nothing about Dire's structures right now. The Dire's bottom rags got problems.
If being able to save this second lane of Rags, 15 more seconds until then he's done.
Dire's bottom rags ain't in a happy place.
I think Navi, they have to murder left.
The Dire's bottom rags is done for.
Reset the fight, and as these find around that top, hero after hero, it looks like they're going to do just that. Without 5 available, I don't think Navi want to take this. And Liquid are going to leave pretty satisfied.
Dire's bottom rags
now taken
didn't make it.
30 minutes.
Navi at this point living on one hell of a prayer. It's going to have to come down into the defense at top lane. Liquid trying to end this, getting mega creeps, taking out the last lane of Rax, or it's going to come down to the Roshan fight. See which one Liquid choose, and it does seem to be to them choose the battlefield.
It looked like there were going to be salvageable moments for Navi, but unfortunately, every time they lost one hero, they were caught a little bit out of position. Mind Control instantly pounced every single time. He's got 3 different ways to set up a fight. Navi have to respect this axe a lot more than they have in these fights.
Where are you going?
Burrow. Once upon a time, we were talking about how he didn't have the mech right yet for Bada, but now he's got a Dagon 3.
This is going to be potentially the last fight for Navi. They can't afford to lose this one, and this is going to be the perfect target.
Dire might want to mine that top tower. They got lost Dire's top tower's getting beat down. 2 out there. Someone's having technical difficulties. Dire's top tower. How about that? Dire might want to mine the top tower.
Now they get to get to the best of 3s where things aren't so random, but for Navi, this is where it's going to all end, and a disappointing finish for them as they go home